Only tonight, a warning about flesh-eating bacteria. The Florida Department of Health says there's been nearly a dozen cases in Florida so far this year, but doctors warn the risk is rising along with the summer temperatures. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen shows us what we need to watch out for.
Out of all 50 states, Florida every year has the most cases of Vibrio vulnificus, also known as flesh-eating bacteria.
It usually comes from brackish water. The way you usually get it is either scratching a leg or foot in the water, or you can get it by entering the water with an open wound, a break in the skin.
New numbers from the Florida Department of Health show that so far this year, there's been 11 confirmed cases of flesh-eating bacteria in Florida and 4 confirmed deaths. While this year's numbers only include the first 6 months of 2025, in the 12-month period of 2024, there were a total of 82 cases of flesh-eating bacteria and 19 deaths. As USF Professor of Medicine Dr. John Sinnott explains, the hurricanes greatly contributed to the unusually high number of cases and deaths because there was a lot more brackish water and standing water, which sat for days in some areas.
Counties were underwater. So that's a perfect area. Then you've got rescue personnel, people with housing belongings, not thinking, trying to save a pet, trying to save a relative. So they're not paying attention to what's happening to their feet and legs.
As Dr. Sinnott explains, when someone gets flesh-eating bacteria, it starts as a reddish rash or streak, typically up their leg. Within 12 to 36 hours, it can become extremely painful if not treated by doctors.
If you cut yourself in the water, the CDC and everyone recommends a good cleaning with soap and water. And I like to add a triple antibiotic ointment and make sure you look at it again in 12 hours.
Reporting in Tampa.
Attention passengers, I'm going to call this one in. I can't open the doors. It's not safe. Give me a second.
You should leave the station.
I am going. I can't stay here. I don't know how, but we have to go. It smells though. Nope.
Next up, 34th Street, Penn Station, Bank Critical, and Northwood. Oh man, somebody needs a diaper.
From Indonesia, where earthquake of magnitude 6.7 has occurred off eastern Indonesia with no tsunami threat that has been reported. The epicenter was located at 177 kilometers west of Tual at a depth of 80 kilometers, according to the US Geological Survey and the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. The quake epicenter was at the depth of 80 kilometers, that is around 177 kilometers west of the city of Tual, in the eastern Maluku province. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has said there was no tsunami threat. Joining me live on the telecast is my colleague Mehndi Garg for more updates. Mehndi, what more updates are you picking as the earthquake of over 6.7 has hit the coast in eastern Indonesia?
Well, indeed, Simran, a very shocking incident happened. A 6.7 magnitude earthquake has struck off eastern Indonesia, and the U.S. Geological Survey has said that. But the good news is that the Monitor have said that there is no tsunami threat as of now. The earthquake struck at 12:49 p.m. Western Indonesia time, and its epicenter was at depth of 66 kilometers, around 177 kilometers west of the city of Tual in the eastern Maluku province, as per the USGS. And the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center also, Simran, have said that there was no tsunami threat. And Indonesia's Geophysics Agency have also said in their social media post that the quake did not have the potential to cause a tsunami, and there were no immediate reports of damage or casualties as well, which is indeed a good thing. And the vast archipelago nation experiences frequent earthquakes right now, Simran, due to its position on the Pacific range of Ring of Fire, an arc of intense seismic activity where tectonic plates collide, and also stretching from Japan through Southeast Asia and across the Pacific Basin. So, a magnitude of 6.2 earthquake that shook Sulawesi in January 2021 killed more than 100 people and left thousands homeless. And in 2018, also 7.5 magnitude earthquake and subsequent tsunami in Palu on Sulawesi killed more than 2,200 people. So this is the brief history also, Simran. But the earthquake, the 6.7 earthquake that hit the offshore eastern Indonesia didn't cause any casualties or any damage. And as per the monitors also, there was no tsunami threat as well.
In a discovery that could rewrite how we understand planetary destruction, scientists have found a terrifying link between volcanic eruptions and giant continent-sized blobs hidden deep inside the Earth. Our next report telling you more.
Buried thousands of kilometers below our feet, there is a ticking time bomb. Two colossal blobs of unknown material, each larger than a continent, have long mystified geologists. Now, in a stunning breakthrough, scientists say these deep Earth anomalies may be directly fueling the deadliest volcanic eruptions in Earth's history. These massive structures hiding near the Earth's core sit under Africa and the Pacific Ocean. The blobs have been there for billions of years, but recent research links them to the most violent eruptions our planet has ever seen, including events that triggered mass extinctions, global climate collapse, and the reshaping of entire continents. New research suggests that the deep Earth is even more dynamic than we realize. Future research aims to explore the chemical nature of blobs, which might be possible with simulations that track the evolution of their composition. The implications for the world are profound. Understanding these subterranean giants is not just academic pursuit, but a critical endeavor for assessing future geological hazards. Identifying these hidden massive structures provides an unprecedented window into our planet's most destructive forces, urging us to prepare for the deep-seated tremors that could, once again, dramatically reshape our world. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
A new report finds a growing number of children are using AI chatbots for things like therapy and friendship.
Kids can go into psychiatric evaluations memorizing the list of symptoms that chatbot gave them, memorizing sort of what their behavior should look like, and they go in and they end up on medications that really could impact brain development.
The survey from Internet Matters found 23% of adolescents surveyed use bots for advice, to practice conversations with friends, or even talk about mental health. The report warned vulnerable children, defined as having special education needs or a condition requiring professional help, are more at risk. 71% of the children said they used chatbots, and 50% said it feels like talking to a friend. Straight Arrow News spoke with a licensed professional clinical counselor.
When children start turning to AI as a friend, it will eventually impact them as they go through life, and they need to develop those social skills, not only for peer engagement, but for practical things like job interviews, getting into colleges, being able to do placement interviews and things like that.
Another recent study from Stanford University also showed the dangers of using chatbots as therapy. Their research found AI models showed increased stigma towards certain conditions and showed bots might enable dangerous behaviors.
The whole purpose of therapy is that people come into therapy with the thought of really learning how to think about their thinking, gaining alternative perspectives. And that's what helps them often to heal from past experiences, confront things that are scary in the future. So the worry is that if you put a bunch of symptoms into a chatbot and they say to you, oh yes, you have PTSD, or oh yes, you have ADHD, it's a diagnosis of such based on one interaction from solely that person's lens in that moment in time.
Sharon, along with the researchers from Internet Matters, said it's important for parents to monitor their kids' interactions with chatbots. The Justice Department has rolled out a plan to comply with President Trump's executive order, making English the official language of the United States. The DOJ says it will lead a coordinated effort across several federal agencies to comply with that order. That includes minimizing non-essential multilingual services, redirecting resources to English education and assimilation, and assuring legal compliance. Straight Arrow News spoke with a legal professor on the administration's authority to carry out this action.
Well, I think the president has a fair amount of authority in that area in terms of saying how certain forms are going to be designed, what language government officials are going to transact business in. And so I think a great deal of what the president wants to do and what the Justice Department guidance required is going to be permissible.
The DOJ says the plan will leave room for linguistic diversity in private and community spheres. They say it will help streamline federal processes, reduce administrative burdens, and increase operational efficiency. However, Chin does expect some legal pushback.
It will be interesting to see what the guidance that comes out of the Department of Justice, what the policies that come out of the other federal agencies are. Are foreign languages going to be taboo? Are they going to be cause for discipline? Or is it just that there's going to be an expectation that everybody be able to speak?
Americans' unpaid medical bills will remain on their credit reports. This comes after a federal judge canceled a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau rule that would have removed medical debt from those reports. Texas U.S. District Judge found the rule exceeds the Bureau's authority under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It would have removed nearly $50 billion in medical bills from the credit reports of about 15 million people.
Today, the Pentagon announced that it is withdrawing 2,000 National Guard troops from Los Angeles. The troops were sent to L.A. last month to help law enforcement deal with demonstrations over immigration raids. Some of those protests turned violent. The Guard deployment happened over the objections of city leaders and California Governor Gavin Newsom. 2,000 Guard members and 700 Marines are still on duty in this.
Surveillance video shows the moment a man killed a woman on the street in Guadalajara, Mexico, after an altercation between the two. The video shows the victim and attacker arguing on the street in front of a white SUV. The woman then begins to repeatedly hit the vehicle's windows with what appears to be a broom. The man takes an assault rifle out of the SUV and fires twice. The second shot appears to fatally hit the woman. He then drives away. Several neighbors go into the street after hearing the gunshots. The Jalisco prosecutor's office said the video is part of a femicide investigation and added they are working to find the perpetrator. The office also told CNN they do not know who released the recording of the attack.
En 5 años las rentas han subido 47%. Eso es algo violento para la población local.
Residents of Mexico City have been protesting against gentrification, some of them saying an influx of U.S. citizens is to blame.
Nosotros nos estamos debatiendo entre pagar la luz, pagar el agua o comer.
More than 1.6 million U.S. citizens reside in Mexico, according to the U.S. State Department. The high cost of living in the U.S. is said to be the catalyst that's pushed roughly 11,000 Americans to migrate to Mexico just last year. Protesters are also upset with the government for policies that they say favor wealthier newcomers without considering the communities that have lived in the area.
Principalmente si van a venir a vivir a un país, tienen que contribuir a ese país, ¿no? La primera y la cuestión más sencilla es la migración legal.
Hundreds of immigrants are being detained in Florida's new immigration detention facility, Alligator Alcatraz. And according to the Miami Herald, hundreds of them have no criminal record. The newspaper reports it received a list of names of people being held at Alligator Alcatraz from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Florida Division of Emergency Management. The list shows more than 250 people who are listed as having only immigration violations, but no criminal convictions or pending charges in the United States, the Miami Herald reports. Their only offenses committed were civil immigration violations. 1/3 of the detainees have been convicted of crimes, with charges ranging from serious offenses like attempted murder to minor ones such as traffic violations. Hundreds more have pending charges and have not yet been convicted. Reporters haven't verified each case, so the full context is unknown, according to the Herald. The Herald searched 747 detainee names and report that only 40 names appeared in ICE's public database, and most were listed at other facilities. The Alligator Alcatraz list is incomplete and may change as detainee numbers shift. The immigration detention facility, located about 50 miles west of Miami at the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport, is in the middle of the Everglades. Migrants are being held in high-security dormitories similar to a prison compound. President Donald Trump toured the facility on July 1st.
We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation.
Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz visited the facility over the weekend and called it an internment camp. They should not put humans in cages in the middle of the swampland in the Florida Everglades. It's outrageous. It's inhumane, Wasserman Schultz said Saturday. Officials with the Trump administration have said their #1 immigration priority is getting criminal migrants off the streets. However, Border Czar Tom Homan has repeatedly said if you're in the country illegally, you're on the table.
老板走啊！
别走！
والله حجوا معي من جوا من المزرعة. حجوا معي من المزرعة. بدهم في جرح كثير. المزرعة؟ بدهم مفجر.
فاتين على السويد عشان نأمن المدنية ونأمن بيوتهم من المسروقات. كنت تاني على المدرعة وإجا الطيران الإسرائيلي ضربنا. حاليا في إصابات كثير واستشهد شباب كمان.
I find the testimony today both disgusting, dishonest, and to be gaslighting, and I'm going to point it out here. We've heard that we unequivocally denounce anti-Semitism, unwavering support for our Jewish students. We have a zero-tolerance policy, and we will not put up with a call for violence. So let's explore that. Emmanuel Ness, the chair of your political science department, said he supports, quote, resistance by any means necessary, which includes violence. How can you say those statements that you support your Jewish students? Shut up and get out of here.
Gentlemen will suspend. Gentlemen will suspend.
Get out of here, you loser. Come on. By the way, to be clear, I hold you all responsible for this. It is the attitude that you have allowed on your college campuses that make people think that this is okay. That is why this happens, because you have someone like Emmanuel Ness that says resistance by any means necessary, and I assume this person still works at your school. Is that correct?
Any call for violence against Jewish members of our community is entirely unacceptable.
So why does this person still work there?
Any individual or faculty that has a complaint of breaking our rules, we will investigate them and take the appropriate disciplinary action if warranted.
The Jewish students on your campus, they do not feel safe today, and you all should be ashamed about that.
The Trump administration has made a lot of commitments to combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. Is the current Office of Civil Rights, or OCR, equipped to fulfill those promises?
The staff has been cut by half. I understand that now the average caseload for the investigators remaining is 200 cases per person.
The majority uses hearings like this one to rail against foreign influence while their own administration routinely violates clear ethics boundaries with foreign governments. They have turned this hearing room into a kangaroo court where they spend our time litigating a predetermined outcome to do nothing, actually to help Jewish students, just make public theater out of legitimate pain.
Mr. President, your daughter-in-law said that there should be transparency in the Epstein case. Do you agree with her, sir?
The Attorney General's handled that very well. She's really done a very good job, and I think that when you look at it, you'll understand that. I would like to see that also, but I think the Attorney General, the credibility is very important, and you want credible evidence for something like that. And I think the Attorney General has handled it very well.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden we went through years of that. With the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, yeah.